Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Morning, whenever you listen to this.
Could be any time.
Yes.
Australia, New Zealand,
Yes.
New York,
Yeah.
Canada,
We're setting the sights incredibly high there.
Tokyo,
It's not going to happen.
Moscow.
From time to time, we have occasionally recorded our thoughts, I guess.
Musings.
Musings. But, yeah, so it's normally fairly unstructured.
It is. Nonsense, I think, is the word I'd use.
Nonsense drivel.
Yeah, nonsense.
But this time,
Okay.
my idea is that we needed what we needed was a topic to get us started,
Okay.
to get us underway. So if we perhaps go to a website,
Yep.
so somewhere impartial as a starter
Brilliant.
for 10,
Start for 10.
starter for 10, and then we'll see where we go, and then from there, shackles are off. And I can't promise where the next 25 minutes will go.
Ding!
Okay.
Chudley McIntosh. Oh,
Well, that's too much.
timing. That would have
Too
been,
much.
That would have been amazing if that time was just.
I think. Okay, we'll mute the laptop.
We'll mute Facebook or whatever it is.
iMessage going off.
iMessage. Okay.
Right.
Independent news source.
Not very independent. Russia Today.
Great.
It's not independent at all.
A nice independent news source.
Interesting. Okay, here we go. This is an interesting article. Bristol residents would prefer a porn studio over housing for migrant workers.
Really?
Yes, apparently they seem to be saying so. So they would rather have the moans and groans from a warehouse than use it to hold migrants.
That's ridiculous.
It does seem slightly ridiculous.
I have quite strong views on opinions on immigration. I think I don't know. Should we go through? Is that something we're going to touch on?
Yes. Now you've nailed yourself.
I suppose
on
I've
this one.
opened the bag of worms, a can of worms.
can of worms.
The cat is out the bag.
Indeed.
I now need to tell people, or everyone's going to be like, "But what are his views?"
Yeah, but
we'll never know.
Also, it's not like you currently at the moment. Who knows in what happened in time? But it's not like you speak with the weight of
That's true.
some kind of.
That is a
pundit
good point.
that
It's not
people
like everybody
care
actually
about.
listens to and cares about my opinion. So, I don't know. I don't see why people have such a huge issue with it. I feel like following correct legislation, filling out the right forms, I feel like if I wanted to go and work in Russia, not that I'd want to work in Russia, but if I wanted to go and work in Russia, then I should be able to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what the immigrants they were talking about here were more Syrian refugees.
Oh, like refugees. Okay.
The whole problem of the European, actually the kind of racism around the immigration that they were going on.
See, that's a difficult one as well, because if this country fell into war, like, I don't know, either a civil war or if we were invaded by, I'm not going to say country because it will sound terrible. If we're invaded, I would expect one of our,
By the residents of the news source that we took this article from.
No, not by Russia. But if we were invaded or something, there was some reason why we needed to leave this country, or it was safer to leave this country, I would assume America or Australia or Canada or any of these people with strong economic environments, like, impartial, fair governments, that they would accept refugees from our country. So is it
air quoted fair governments?
Well, there's fair governments
With bunny ears.
But maybe it's not about us letting, people who need help and need support and who are running away from war. Maybe it's just that deep down, a lot of the country are just racist.
Or the residents of Bristol really like porn. And they don't
Either
want
way's fair, I think.
And they don't want their studio
Maybe
shut
that
down.
studio produces very high quality porn.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't read the article more. It was more of a headline.
A headline. Of course it was.
But yeah, as you said, it was a starter for 10. I don't know how I would award the. Pardon me, sorry. I definitely wouldn't award 10.
No.
Okay. But I am totally with you. I think if there was a time where the boot was on the other foot and I was a Syrian refugee going across in a life dinghy inflatable that I've blown up with my mouth and across some
banana boat or something.
A banana boat that I'm paddling with a children's
Straw
plastic
hat.
shovel. I'm not gonna. if that happens and I have to try and make my break to go
Make your way to Australia.
yeah, to make my way to France, I would, like you say, I would like to feel that there was a place for me.
Yeah, I think I would
Countries,
almost
okay, not France, maybe.
expect it.
The previous colonies, Australia, for instance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Australia definitely, and Canada.
yeah, but
Maybe not
only-
the US because the US are a bit funny with things.
I like the US is okay.
Yeah, there's like heavy visa rules and stuff over there, isn't there? Like you can't get in without visa and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Skepta wasn't allowed in this week
Oh, really?
off of rapping,
I didn't hear that.
and he wasn't allowed a work visa, so he's had to cancel his US
Really?
tour.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
Where's he from? Where's his country of origin?
Very English.
Oh,
English
he
London,
is he? Oh, okay.
but I think he's a Nigerian,
I'm not into that scene. sorry.
Nigerian descent.
All right, so they're racist, basically. Was Trump by any means on the visa approval board?
I don't think it was a racism issue against his Nigerian
I
descent.
really hope not.
It might have possibly been to do with his previous convictions for drugs in his
Yeah,
past.
that would probably do it, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes. And also, like you say, there has been an issue with musicians trying to get work visas to work in America. That has been
I think it can be quite tricky, and I think Australia's the same. They're very, very tight on their borders. But that's something that came out today. Very topical news.
Ooh.
Johnny Depp and his
Yes.
wife Amber Heard.
Yes.
Well, it was Amber Heard really, but Johnny Depp's just sort of
Smuggling
helped
in
her
a
out.
puppy.
She has pleaded guilty, and as part of her, reparation, probably the wrong word, back to the Australian government, she has released a video.
Yeah, released like a weird Skype call.
A really, really weird video, which they are actors, so of course they can act seriously.
Yeah, but like you say, but we all know they're actors, so
Yes,
it's like
so it's kind of weird.
a falsely seriously
Yeah,
acted
really
video.
strange. Where they say that you should make sure that you follow the rules, which I suppose is better than going to jail. If I had to choose whether to apologise for something publicly or go to jail, I think I know what I'd rather do, especially if I'd actually done something wrong.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Johnny Depp and his wife ended up in jail?
Could you, in Australia?
In Australia, because they
They
tried
smuggled
to
a
smuggle,
dog.
Yeah, they tried to smuggle their terriers in. Which is just
Absurd.
the most unlikely. It's such a first world problem. You didn't have the
really first
You didn't
world.
have your doggy passport lined up correctly. And you got shut down at customs.
I think she actually faked the documents. I think there was fake
Wow.
documents involved. I think it was something like that. I didn't read the story in depth, but I think that there were fake documents involved, which is what really screwed up the whole situation.
I can
think.
see that that's more of an offence than anything that's come
Actually
previously.
smuggling it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I think you can be fairly pleading ignorance, can't you, if you smuggle a dog in? Smuggle in inverted commas.
Yeah, but falsifying documents.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah, falsifying the documents for a terrier is
Well, it's worse than a poodle.
Do you think the dog? Do you think the genre of the animal, the genre of the dog, the flavour of the dog? Do you think the flavour of the dog would have a bearing on? Say, if
Probably.
they tried to take like a pit bull in, or like a restricted breed or something.
Well, yeah. If it's like an Australian sheepdog or something, they'd probably just let it go. But if you're trying to bring like a bulldog or something stereotypically British or German or something, they've probably got a problem with it.
Well, so you
Well,
think
they're
there's
quite tough.
racism in
They're quite tough on immigration, aren't they? Like they probably let sort of other Australians immigrate back to Australia. But if you're German or British,
You have to have a trade. You have to have a trade because I know that they're,
Oh, is that
they're
right?
quite up on like obviously they're things that they're good at, or they need people for like mining. for
so if I was a miner, if
Yeah.
I was a specialist aluminium or miner,
aluminium or iron.
miner,
Yes,
then I could easily obtain a visa in Australia because
I'm not sure it's easy or not as easy as it was, but I know that there was a time where that was one of the professions they were searching
I
for.
suppose that makes sense considering like I don't know the percentage, but like 40% of the outback is aluminium ore.
Yeah, but you can sort of you can saturate the earth with aluminium ore
True.
to the point like you can't process it all.
No, I suppose.
And the way they mine it is mental.
Yeah.
Safety is like 15th priority behind any other. Like basically, as much as you can make us fast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you die as a consequence, that's a bit of a pity.
Well, this just sounds like the Qatar World Cup,
It does a little.
where I think what was the figure? Something like one person died during the London, or two people died when the London Olympics were World Cup rather was being. Or was it Olympics?
The Olympics, I think, and there was a building, and also
Two people died.
Statistically, accidents on building sites it was in line with like the UK statistics of deaths
Yeah.
on building sites anyway,
But
because
yeah,
obviously the building site was around for so long It was almost
or
a
basically zero.
Yeah, it was a statistical certainty. If you're looking at the maths,
I suppose,
someone was going to die.
Because if you there were like 2 deaths in 5 years in the London Olympics, but in Qatar there's been like 250 in a year or something.
Do you remember when that bloke actually died at the Winter Olympics in the luge?
No, I don't remember that. When was that?
When he took a stage exit to the left out of the chute at like
where was it? What?
I don't know, 85 mile an hour. Was it Sochi or the one before?
Was it Sochi?
I think it was Sochi. The track was like the fastest track in the world, and he exits stage left and hits one of the posts that holds holds over like the gantry to protect the track, and it was not pretty at all. And then they shut down the track for a day, obviously, just to mark of respect.
Well, just to
they have to
clean the ice, get the cleaners out.
Flipping heck. And then they put a foam pad.
That's top quality health and safety. That is.
Yeah, like you say, a foam pad. Like that was really gonna. Like the foam pad was the
brilliant.
Was the deciding
factor. That's the reason why he died, because there was no foam pad.
Not that he went from 85 to 0 in
a split second.
Yeah, in a split. Again, he would have wrapped himself around the pole, really.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I wonder if anybody else has died at the Olympics, other than builders building it.
Definitely, there must be more people overall in the building of Olympics dying than actual Olympic sports, because sports aren't that dangerous. Winter Olympics probably more so, but normal Olympics probably aren't that dangerous, unless someone's ever had a javelin through the chest or something.
They probably have years ago.
Surely a steward must have had a javelin through a chest at some point.
You'd think that they would, by the time they were Olympic level officiating, they would be able to stand as sufficiently safe.
You'd think they'd know.
They'd be good at locating themselves that they wouldn't get gored at the Olympics.
Oh, I really hope not. Or a shot put through in the face or something.
Fun fact.
Or discus or something.
I held the school record for shot put.
Did you?
Yes.
At primary or secondary?
Secondary, we didn't. Who did primary shot put? Primary school shot put?
Where a school I went to, all sorts of stuff. Throwing pigs and cows and all sorts.
No, there definitely was not primary school shot put. But I held the record for that, which was about the peak of my sporting excellence.
I think I was terrible at everything.
You're still the first and only person in the world I've ever seen take a goal kick in football and it go backwards.
Well, that was that's skill. That was intentional and skillful. It did land in a swimming pool.
I genuinely do not know how it left your foot, how your foot can travel in that direction, and how a ball can leave a foot in that direction.
Well, I can teach you one day if you like.
But you'll have to charge.
I will, yeah.
Khalees.
Yeah, Khalees.
Milkshake.
What happened to Khalees?
Her career ran its course to a natural end.
Oh, okay.
Probably shortly after Milkshake.
Milkshake, yeah.
I don't know. I
think I saw something.
No. Tell a lie. No, tell a lie. I had a playlist of songs from somewhere else, and she did the Calvin Harris one.
What?
Didn't she? Bounce.
Oh yeah, she did.
She just featured on stuff.
Bounce.
Yes, and but though Milkshake is on Spotify, for instance, Milkshake is 36 million views.
That's a lot.
Everything else is nowhere near those.
But Milkshake is for the comedic factor, isn't it? Rather than genuine musical talent factor.
She's stuck in that horrible rut where she goes to play a show and all people are stood there for is just waiting for Milkshake. Because, she plays like Trick Me and Millionaire and the other like 2 songs that I could think of. But actually, we're all sat around waiting for Milkshake.
I think I've said it before, but I saw Limp Bizkit live.
Yes.
And it was at a festival, so Rammstein were also there. If you don't know who Rammstein are, by the way, they're a German... they're their own sort of genre of music, but they're a German metal band, basically, who sing in German. So they're pretty badass.
Du hast
Which is
the only one that anybody knows.
That sort of stuff. They're good fun. Anyway, so Limp Bizkit were there, and they were playing like at the same time as Rammstein, but they started just before Rammstein. So they come on, and I forget the lead singer's name, but he's like a manic depressive. He has depression.
Was he wearing like big Dickies shorts? And just like
I don't know, because his fashion style changes frequently.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But he got on stage, and you could tell that he was kind of annoyed at the the way that
The clash.
Yeah, because he knew that people were there, and like people like Limp Bizkit, and there's lots of people who love Limp Bizkit, but Rammstein put on such a show, and they're known for showboating that everyone wanted to see Rammstein. Anyway,
even if you weren't a Rammstein fan, you would go to.
Yeah,
that
well, I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a Rammstein fan at the time, but went and saw them because I knew that it would be a good show.
Yes.
So anyway, I went over to Limp Bizkit first, watched a bit of Limp Bizkit. They came on, and the first song they played was Rollin'. And he came on before, and he's like, we're going to do Rollin' first, because I know that you all just want to go watch Rammstein. And you're kind of at that point where you're like, I kind of feel bad for you. I'm really glad, because that's all I want to hear.
I'm glad you've acknowledged it, because that's all. That's
the only reason I'm watching. I want to just see you play Rollin', and then I want to go watch Rammstein.
And then what you actually did was you followed with like 20,000 others to the Rammstein tent.
Yeah, basically. I wouldn't have been surprised if they gave up their show early and went and watched Rammstein.
And then if they cut it off at just the right time, they'd arrive over just to experience. Du hast
mich.
Yeah, but no clashing.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, but Rollin', what a song!
Rollin's a tune.
Was it worth sticking around for though?
Yeah, it was great. I think it's a good song. Everyone was bouncing. Everyone was absolutely going mental. It was great.
Everyone was going mental, preparing themselves to go to Rammstein.
Well, yeah, I suppose people were getting hyped. It was like a good, when you're watching comedy and the warm-up act is on point. And you're just like, this is great. This has properly got me in the mood. And you know you're in the mood for a comedy show when the lead act walks on and you're laughing. They haven't even said anything.
What is that? What is
and
that
you're
with
laughing.
Comedy? Where if you go to a stand-up, it doesn't really matter what they're saying. You go in because you're going to laugh. That's just like how it goes.
I don't know. But the warm-up does make a difference.
Oh, of course. And if you're a warm-up, you actually have to gauge the situation, I bet.
Really hard.
Because you can't go in and just drop bangers. Like, because that used to happen if you go to, like, a music show and the support acts would always try to outplay the main event.
Yeah, always.
Which is okay in music. But if you're a comedian, you can't do that.
You can't
go and drop your best
People
material.
aren't here to see Joe Bloggs. They're here to see Michael McIntyre.
No, and then I don't know if... Yeah, but he's going to have a big support anyway. A big warm-up guy.
I only said him because he's one of the ones that I've seen. And the guy that warmed up... There were two warm-up acts. There was a lady who was very funny. And then there was a guy who knew that he was no match for Michael McIntyre. He knew he was a good comedian, but he knew he wasn't Michael McIntyre. And he wasn't going to get the laugh. So he came on and he was very open. And it was quite a small venue, quite a small local venue.
Where did you see Michael McIntyre at a small local venue?
Well, it was Plymouth Pavilions, which isn't... Yeah, which is quite small
like
in the grand...
4,000, yeah.
It's in the grand scheme of things. It's quite small. Yeah, no, it's pretty small, really. But this warm-up act, he was good. He was quite cynical, which I really liked. And he hit it. He just got it right. He didn't go over the top, so people weren't, like, aching before Michael McIntyre came on.
I can't remember. I saw...
just right.
I saw a comedian in Exeter who was half of his set was about cricket, and turns out he's actually quite famous within like cricketing circles. He goes on Test Match Special and things like that. But that wasn't my bag. And as an evening's entertainment, I found it slightly disappointing. The next guy came on who was the voice of one of the bees on the Vodafone advert.
Oh my God.
Called Dan Antopolsky.
Voiceover artist and comedian.
Yeah, he was a comedian at first. I guess he picked up the Vodafone work off the back of it.
That is something I've noticed as
and
well.
He rapped about having a Black & Decker laser level. And he did a 5-minute rap about how this laser level had changed his life. And I think the first guy who came on, the cricket guy, wasn't that entertaining. But by the time I'd watched this man rap for 5 minutes about a laser level,
you were ready for the
which isn't funny now at all. I was howling with laughter about Dan Antopolsky and his laser level.
Oh, his laser level.
Oh, the cricket guy didn't do anything.
No, didn't.
No, and I mean, I'm not like anti-cricket. Like, I played cricket; it was fun, but I'm not going to sit and listen to cricket humour.
Have you noticed how the 118 guys, the original 118 guys, are sort of getting around? I see them every now and then, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the 118 guy.
But the 118 guys who feature on the adverts currently aren't the original
They're
ones.
not.
No,
they are different.
It was like a staged phasing out of them.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they sort of disappeared. But they're very similar looking, but they're not the same ones.
Yeah, which annoys me, because if you're going to change them, Just change them.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
up with a plot line.
Well, they do that, but then the old shreddy ladies, they changed them, and everyone was furious.
Yeah, well, obviously the other cast were no longer available for reasons such as death. is my guessing. I know. Well,
they have replaced them now. They went to animated, then they went back to the originals, and now they've actually replaced them.
Okay.
It's sad, but it was going to happen.
The Shreddies advert is also like an educational experience for children as a
It is
life
a bit.
cycle. It's why we used to just give kids pets.
Oh my god.
We used to-
Tamagotchis.
Yeah, we used to give kids like a hamster, which had a 6-year shelf life on it.
If that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I never
More
had a
like
hamster.
4.
Okay, a 4-year shelf life on a hamster, because then when it died, it would teach them of loss to
Morality.
prepare them for when, if like they say the worst happens to a family member. Whereas now we're just doing that through the Shreddies advert with the nanas
Brilliant.
killing off.
Mummy, where's the Shreddy's granny gone? Well, Jimmy.
How did you learn about death, Jimmy?
Unfortunately, she died.
How did you learn about death, Jimmy? I think I learnt it through a Shreddies advert on ITV.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that
Between
wasn't
the X Factor.
Yeah, why?
Just as a side note, before we digress too far, I'll just give a little nugget of information to all the one listener, me later on.
To us when we listen to it back.
On the subject of 118 guys, if you're the kind of person who likes spotting people in things who are not famous but kind of famous,
Yes.
I have a few nuggets, but this is a good one because we were talking about 118. One of the 118 guys is in Hot Fuzz. Now, I imagine that a lot of you, this is weird because we don't have an audience, but I'm sure a lot of you have seen Hot Fuzz because we're British and you're probably British, and Hot Fuzz is a cult classic in Britain.
Yes.
One of the 118 guys is in Hot Fuzz, very briefly.
What, is it like a walk-on, though?
It's not a walk-on, he actually has a character, and I think he has lines.
He has lines.
Yeah, he actually has lines.
He has lines.
So I'll give you the sort of story. It might jog your memory, and you might sort of think to yourself, "Oh my god!" Otherwise, next time you watch it, because you'll probably watch it again, you'll spot him.
Okay.
So towards the end, where Simon Pegg's character,
Spoilers, incoming spoilers to anybody
oh my
who
god,
hasn't
yeah, that's
seen.
true actually. Yeah, if you haven't seen Hot Fuzz and you're that sort of into it and you really want to watch it, this might be a bit spoilerish. So just sort of don't listen.
Turn down your headset.
Just turn down your headset and switch to the radio or something for 5 minutes.
Not 5 minutes.
It won't be that long. 2 minutes.
We'll have lost interest and changed subject to...
So, Sergeant Angle,
Yes.
Sergeant Angel. Yeah. I'm on it. So Sergeant Angle, towards the end of the film, when he's about to get all badass, he drives away from town and he stops at a service station to buy spray paint and sunglasses and maybe something else, but I can't remember what. Anyway, the man at the checkout is one of the 118 men.
No way.
He is. Yeah. He's blonde, though, I think, in Hot Fuzz, or has lighter hair than the 118 men.
Wouldn't it be great if he was just there in the vest?
That I would love that, but he isn't.
Continuity is a
yeah,
118 vest.
he isn't. So, yeah, he is one of the 118 men.
How do you...
I think he was...
Where did you see...
I think he was 118, although he might have been 118.
What a horrible, horrible cheap gag. Yeah, where did you were you watching it and you just like, oh my, look, it's the 118.
I don't know. I might have read it. I can't remember. I might have heard it on a podcast.
Potentially stolen material as well. The worst of all material.
Dear.
It's not.
We're going to be next week. We're going to have a litigation letter through the letter for the letterbox.
If we get a litigation letter, that means somebody's listened to it.
That's true. I'll be happy. Okay, I will be happy to receive even if that's the right legal term.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, well, I think after your nugget of information from 118,
It is a good nugget.
and the this week's homework,
Watch Hot Fuzz.
the homework is to watch Hot Fuzz.
If you haven't seen it already, and if you haven't, what the hell have you been doing?
Yeah, and even if you have, go back and watch it again and try and locate the 118.
Yeah,
man.
there are so many little nuggets that you would have missed the first time round.
So, to summarise, we've gone from.
We only read one news story.
Yeah, that's all we needed to get them. That was a starter for 10. Starter for 10, you see.
Starter for 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, starter for 27 minutes.
There you go.
So ish, I think. I don't know. I can't see the little
Starter for
number.
27.
Yes. Star for 27. So we've gone from Bristol residents effectively will be just being a bit racist, really, to
pornist.
Yeah, or being overly into their pornography, to
Hot Fuzz and the 118 Man.
A little nugget about the 118 Man and Hot Fuzz. So yeah, that leaves it.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, Angus.
Goodbye.